When we think and talk about video game characters, we often gravitate towards our favorites. Whether that be Master Chief from Halo, Kratos from God of War, or Spyro or Sonic the Hedgehog. We all have our favorites, and those are generally the ones we think about the most. But despite favorites, there's one character that sticks out among all of the rest. And that character is Mario. The idea for this video came from a class I took a couple of terms ago. In this transmedia class, we got onto the topic of franchises evolving. For example, remakes of shows, like the current series of DuckTales versus the previous one that started in 1987. What are the franchises that have sticked around? As we discussed, we made our way to Mario, and eventually I started to ask the question, has Mario really evolved? What I ended up coming up with was a yes, but no answer. The Mario series has clearly evolved from the early days of the NES, and the arcade with Donkey Kong, especially at a technical perspective. But as a character, Mario for the most part has stayed the same. Here's a bit that I wrote. Through time and space, Mario has been consistent doing two things. He runs and jumps. He made the jump from arcades to homes, from 2D to 3D, from consoles to phones, and yet he still runs and jumps. Mario has learned so much. He's picked things up. He throws his hat. He's flied. He even cracked a whip for a little while. But throughout all of that, he still runs and jumps. Mario has forever run and jumped, and brought along a colorful cast of characters to run and jump alongside him. But for the most part, Mario himself is a blank slate. Even in Mario's various sports games, he's considered the default, most basic character, while other characters have different perks and such. Mario is also, minus a couple of key catchphrases, trust me, I know him, a silent protagonist, allowing us to focus on the gameplay of the series. So I asked, is there a purpose in all of this? Well, obviously I think there is. I wouldn't be making a video if I didn't. Mario is a blank slate so that we can project onto him. It's a classic story writing trick to sympathize with characters, but here I think it's a little more. For me, as someone who grew up playing Mario, starting with the Game Boy Advance games, moving to Super Mario Sunshine, back to the NES, and kind of just generally jumping around the different eras of Mario, Mario represents a consistency in gaming. Mario is like the comfort food of games for me, and he's everywhere. On all of my Nintendo devices, I can find Mario. I can even find Mario on my smartphone, so he's always with me, just hanging out in my pocket, waiting for whenever I need him. Mario at this point feels more like a longtime friend than he does a video game character. He also represents something for me, though. He represents happiness, pure, unbridled joy. And happiness is vital for the world. It allows us to see the best of people, to have hope for ourselves in the future. And that's why Mario has never really changed or evolved. Mario's purpose has stayed the same. Some would argue Mario's purpose is purely to sell games, to have a figurehead for Nintendo, to bring kids in by this lovable mascot, but I think it's more. For me, it doesn't matter if Mario is saving Peach, the Mushroom Kingdom, or even the whole freaking galaxy. It doesn't matter if Mario is battling Bowser or Frostful, a weird version of himself, some weird random character. But Mario still spreads happiness. As long as someone can boot up a console, a handheld, or even a smartphone, and see that plumber in red, ready to save the day.